as in the days of Noah, gene manipulation, breeding of animals and crossbreeding of animals to bring creatures that God didn't intend for. This is from Yahoo.com, Yahoo News. CRISPR pioneer Dudna envisions a world of woolly mammoths and unicorns. And so if you thought unicorns were fake, apparently there's someone who believes in them. And I do believe the Bible absolutely describes some animal with a single horn. And they think they can do this with the CRISPR, with gene editing, and bring back these extinct animals. If there's one misstep that doomed a long and bitter fight by the University of California to wrest key CRISPR patents from the Broad Institute, it was star UC Berkeley scientist Dudna's habit of being scientifically cautious, realistic, and averse to overpromising. A biochemist who co-led the breakthrough 2012 study of CRISPR-Cas9, Dudna repeatedly emphasized in interviews the challenges of repurposing the molecular system, which bacteria use to fend off viruses, to edit human genomes. The U.S. Patent Office in February ruling that led to the Broad keep its CRISPR patents relied heavily on those statements. We weren't sure if CRISPR would work in animal cells, for example, to conclude that when scientists at the Broad CRISPR'd human cells in 2013, it was a non-obvious advance and therefore deserving of patents. So it's striking that the careful, measured Dudna, who said CRISPR's human cells are thereby curing devastating diseases, would be a challenge is hardly in evidence in a crack in creation, gene editing, and unthinkable power to control evolution, the new book she co-authored with her former student Samuel Sternberg. It goes on sale Tuesday. We are on the cusp of a new age in genetic engineering and biological mastery. This exactly sounds like the pride and the boasting and the big-headedness that man had in years past, in biblical years past, where they were breeding, crossbreeding, tinkering with the genetic code that God had in place. And God stopped it at one point. Part of the flood was to take care of the gene issues, the gene pool issues, prior to the flood with the giants. And we know the Nephilim taught the crossbreeding of animals to create new animals that God didn't originally intend for. And that's what we're talking about here. Biological mastery. They want to become God. They want to be able to create whatever, air quotes, create whatever animal and bring back to life whatever animal they want. Similar to bringing people back from the dead. We believe so much that we are as good as God in creating new things. Well, the truth is that we're only using existing living things, or at least things that lived in the past. We're only tinkering, editing with stuff that's existing. We're not creating anything, but this is where we're headed. I think we're going to see some of this come out. Maybe we're going to see centaurs and half human, half animal creatures before the Lord comes back and deals with the trouble again, because that's what was occurring in the days of Noah. She says she is not kidding that CRISPR could bring about woolly mammoths, winged lizards, the dinosaurs, and unicorns. It won't be long before CRISPR allows us to bend nature to our will. So it's directly going against God and saying we are as powerful as God. We can do whatever we want on this earth, no matter what God thinks. And God's definitely going to step in and deal with it, because he has some lines that we can't cross, and this, I think, is going to be one of them. He destroyed the world once because of this, and I think he will likely destroy it. Well, he will. The end of the book says he will destroy it with fire next time. The hyperbole contrasts with CRISPR's stumbles, including altering parts of genomes it wasn't supposed to. I don't think we'll have a version of CRISPR that's 100% perfect. So it comes down to risk-benefit analysis. So I think, again, I think this is all as in the days of Noah stuff, bringing back unicorns, dinosaurs, woolly mammoths. I think they'll get there, but I think God will stop it at some point. Maybe when they start tinkering with humans, I think God's going to stop it there and say, all right, that's enough, gone too far. And I think the sin in the world is progressing to a point where, you know, it's going to match where we are with gene editing and the overall sin in the world. There was another story on Rapture Ready, and it deals with really the violence in the land. And where was it? Let's see. Yes, Baltimore. There's a massive increase in violence, and police are now on 12-hour shifts to deal with all the violence. And what was happening prior to the flood? Well, there was massive violence in the world. Not only gene editing and giants, angels breeding with the women, there was massive violence in the world. And eventually the sin was out of control, and God dealt with it. And I think that's what's happening here as well. So another sign of the times. These are the days we live in. These are the days of Noah. I don't think you can deny anymore that we are really living in Noah's day, where there's just sin abounds. Sin is all over the place. We are in every direction. We are being sinful. We're trying to be God, and we're trying to do things that God really does not want us to do. And that ultimately will prompt the return of Jesus. I will leave there, guys. You can check out the article in the description, and we'll see you guys in the next video.